What is the dentist knows you're lying when you say that you floss of other industries. I don't know how my lenses got scratched. I take perfect care of them. No, it looks like you've tried cleaning your glasses with Windex, and that's why you've stripped the coatings off the lenses. Or you've left your glasses in a car, which can cause crazing. Or you've wiped your lenses with your shirt, which is a rough material. Also, my glasses just fell off my head into a pile of towels, and when I picked them up, they were broken. That's one specific example, but we can tell when it's a manufacturer's defect, or when you've stepped on them. I promise. When you shoot them with 2 milligrams of Narcan and they shoot up out of a fentanyl-induced coma faster than a bullet from a gun and then have the audacity to say no, I've never used any narcotics in my life. B please. When a complaining customer claims that they shop here all the time, working 40 hours a week for over 3 years and I've literally never seen you before in my life. Similar to the customers who threaten that they will never shop here again, then proceed to show up every Sunday like nothing ever happened. The staff at the know damn well you whatever is stuck in your butt was put there on purpose. You can tell us whatever story you want about how you were just walking around without pants cause you just got out the shower, and how you slipped, fell and landed on the cucumber remote flashlight whatever vaguely phallic object you had on hand, and you landed in just such a way that it slid straight up your butt. We all know exactly what you were doing. I never go to any websites that are not work related. Then why does your computer have enough malware to choke a horse? Also, you did not clear your web history. When I ask you if you have rebooted your computer and you say yes, then I open Task Manager and see it's been up for 6,000 hours. Yeah, you are lying or think logging off is the same as a reboot. Once I asked my friend to reboot his iPhone. He said okay, locked it and unlocked it. Your music teacher always knows if you have or haven't been practicing your instrument since your last lesson. It's very easy to tell. I'm in the fire service. Every single one of my customers lies. I have had my chimney swept recently. No, you haven't. Hence the chimney fire you currently have. I check my smoke alarm every week. Oh, I see. It just happened to stop working in the last week, eh? People calling during the dinner rush on a Friday night to ask about their application telling me they have lots of restaurant experience. My boyfriend had someone call at 12:16 during the lunch rush to see if he'd check his application. He scheduled an interview for the next day that he didn't show up for, or answer his phone when I called. We're totally hiring him. I work in an electronics store, and every single day some random customer comes with a broken device because they didn't read the fricking manual. We know you didn't. Vacuum cleaners don't just spontaneously produce water inside the bag. I worked returns at an electronics store and my favorite was the stereo that had beer spilled into it. Imagine a puddle of dried beer. That's what was all over the vents. It just stopped working for no reason. Filling it with beer counts as a reason. I work as a brewer. Pub calls up, says their beer was fine for a few days, then went cloudy, tasted bad. They send back a half full cask, wanting their money back. I check it on return, and it's fine. And there was nothing wrong with any of the other casks in that batch. You just couldn't sell it and tried to scam us into giving your money back. As if we don't notice that this tends to happen when pubs are in the quieter parts of the year. My friend runs a pizza pub. He got adventurous and ordered a whole 15 gal of a beer that he just physically could not sell to anybody. He called the brewery rep, not to return it, but to ask the guy to remind him never to let him order that again. They had a good chuckle. Your personal trainer knows you don't really follow the diet plan and they know you don't work out an hour every day at home. They probably won't tell you too much of the truth because they want your money, but they know. Based on your username I assume you are the client, not the trainer. Hearing ATC call up other aircraft telling them to recycle their transponder, turn it off and back on. Suddenly it magically works, and the other aircraft try to act like they did indeed turn it off and back on. We all know you forgot to turn it on in the first place. I'm surprised they're not on all the time. As a professor who teaches survey design and data collection, I know when you decide to fill out your own online survey 200 times, ahem, Maggie and Lauren, rather than collect data as instructed because the IP address is the same for all 200 surveys. That almost seems like more effort than actually getting other people to take the survey. When I look at your pet that is crawling with fleas and you swear you just put flea prevention on it so it can't have fleas. So yeah, what kind? They can never remember. Also, I get, oh I barely feed them anything all day long. Really? Because your cat is 18 pounds, mom. Or your beagle that should be 25 pounds is freaking 45 pounds and has a shelf butt bigger than a chihuahua. Defense lawyer here. I know you're lying when you don't know the names of your friend who witnessed your side of the story, or you don't know what street your aunt's house is on that you say you were at the time, etc. Not knowing details that you first of all would just know, and second of all could figure out retroactively upon request, is a sure sign that you're lying. Now, don't get me wrong. It is everyone's constitutional right in the US to a vigorous defense, no matter how guilty you are, and I will provide my best. But the reason why we have attorney-client confidentiality is because I can't do that very well if I don't know the facts accurately, and I can't know the facts Good friend of mine is a PD and she always knows people are full of crap when she tries to go and find the aunt, cousin, guy who goes by some nickname, etc. And they tell her they have no idea who those people are. Once she gives them her card and says she is the PD, they do a complete 180 and know where everyone is. When the guy comes to work on your HVAC and he asks if you changed the filters, tell the truth so he can figure out what's wrong with your system. Shoot, I have to go to Lowe's. Loss prevention in retail. Watch cameras for shoplifters. Yes, I know you stuffed merchandise down your pants. No, your genitals do not create a bulge the size of a basketball. We had someone just walk out with a Dyson the other day. It was mental. Camera repair. Yes, you did. In fact, take your camera to the beach. Yes, you did drop it in sand, got it wet. My favorite was a customer with a video camera dropped in water. The technician removed the tape and found footage of them at the beach and dropping it in the water right before the camcorder stopped working. Or, yes, you did drop it. That's why this metal barrel inside is shattered into 6 pieces and this dent near the mount is probably where it hit first. I had a customer argue with me that there is no way their lens had impact damage. Then I showed him the pictures of this very thick barrel inside shattered in many pieces. I also pointed out the significant dent on the outside of the lens. Or, yes, you did take it apart. That's why the screws are all stripped and in the wrong locations. Trust me, when all you do is take apart the same camera lens dozens of times a week, you know by heart where every part is, the thread type, length and color of each and every screw. You cannot fool a repair technician thinking we won't notice something. Also, fingerprints on the inside is a dead giveaway. While working in a plumbing shop, we can tell when you hired a handyman and he messed up. We don't care. We get paid either way, but we can be more informative if you tell us the truth. Doctor, diabetic patient comes in for a checkup. Their blood sugar that day is normal from their blood draw and they claim they have been keeping their diabetes well in control. However, there is a value on labs called A1C that is essentially an indicator of what percentage of their red blood cells are bound to sugar and serves as a long-term indication of blood sugar control. This number is above 6.5, then you haven't been controlling your blood sugar, dude. Regardless of your effort to have a good number for today for your doctor's appointment so we wouldn't fuss at you. Diabetic here. Type 1. I can't lie, I am on the insulin pump and it's like my doctor knows my life. You didn't take insulin for lunch or don't drink milk before bed. Cook, I know you don't have a gluten allergy when you drank 3 beers and ate all of the table bread before your gluten-free pasta arrived. I know when you're likely cheating on an exam. How? Because I was 16 once. Because you're not that bright. Because I've seen your previous attempts. But probably because your answers match up with the fake key on my desk. The last cable guy did that. Yes, the last professional cable guy who was here went out and bought the shittiest Wally World RG59 and Radio Shack splitters he could find to wire your TV up in the jankiest manner he could. I sell cell phones. People lie about how they frick up their phones all the time. It just stopped working. Oh, is that wire liquid is literally still dripping out of it? You just had it in your pocket and the screen broke. Oh, okay, that's why there's gravel embedded in the screen. The thing is, I don't give a frick how you broke your phone. One way or another crap is broken. I'm going to give you the same options. Also, when you come in to complain about erroneous charges on your TV bill, regular video on demand movies show the actual name of the movie and don't cost $10. Don't try and tell me they charge you double when you rented Frozen. I'm a blackjack dealer. One of the most entertaining things about my work is seeing all the shady illegal goings on. It's incredibly amusing because no one seems to realize that all the floor staff know exactly what's going on all the time. We know who the drug dealers, junkies, live-in gamblers, casino prostitutes, and petty criminals are. We're on a first name basis with most of them. When some 35-year-old would-be gangster drops $500 in small bills on the table and says all black, just one, I wish I could tell him, I know you just did blow with and fricked a prostitute. I saw you walking up to the hotel with her. Her name is June. She likes to tell me stories about her crazy mom when she plays her promos on Tuesdays. Nurses can tell how much you drink alcohol. Alcoholism shows up in almost all major organ systems. It shows in your jaundiced eyes, hair loss, abdominal distension, swelling of face limbs, psychological behaviors, rotted teeth, acid reflux, tremors, muscle loss, and those are just the things we can see. Imagine the blood work. So I can tell an alcoholic from 5 miles away. Jaundiced eyes. Years back when I drank a lot, I wondered why the whites of my eyes always looked half yellow. Frick, I thought it was lack of sleep. There are two kinds of patients who say they don't drink. Usually the men lowball it. Oh, I have a beer a couple of times a week turns into I have 3 beers every night once they go into DTs. Then there's the little old ladies who are shocked at the very suggestion that they drink. Then once they go into DTs turns out they have wine every night and didn't count that as being alcohol. I'm a dog groomer, and I know when you don't regularly brush your dog. Telling me you do when you really don't does not fool me. When they have mats all over the place, it also hurts the poor dog to brush out mats, so if you tell me not to cut them out I will definitely judge you. So glad someone else goes through this. I brush Fluffy every day. Oh really? Then why is your dog matted to the skin? Barista, I know you don't want a shot poured over ice just because you like an iced doppio in the summer, but I know you're going to ask for milk the second I put your drink on the bar and make yourself a latte. Cashier, I know you did not buy that here. You stole it from our other store and returned it. Also, your service animal shat on the floor, so I know it's not actually a service dog. House sitter, I know you didn't forget to tell me about that landscaping appointment house painter maintenance work that just happens to conflict with my school schedule. Because you texted me literally 2 seconds after you left the house and you knew I would have told you I could not be there. Veterinary receptionist, Fluffy is not just excited to be at the vet. Fluffy is poorly trained. Your cat didn't get so many fleas on the way over here that I can literally see them jumping out of your cat carrier. Also, I'm not the fricking vet and I know you know that I'm not the fricking vet. Please don't just walk in and ask me what I would do about a dog with X when you don't even actually have the dog with you. I would take the dog to the fricking vet. I know that virus likely came from pure pirating a movie or a TV show. Don't try to tell me that you think it came from ESPN's website or something on the side of Facebook. I had a lady bring her golden retriever in for getting super itchy when he rolled around in the grass, and when I asked her what heartworm flea prevention she was using, her response was, "Oh, I don't. He doesn't go outside." Someone told me that her last dog died of heartworm. She didn't need any prevention because the mosquitoes don't come to her house anymore. When you never brush your dog and finally bring it to the groomers terribly matted and you tell us you left on vacation for 1 week and the dog sitter didn't brush them, or that they just went to the lake, or he was hanging his head out the window on his way over. Stop it, you just give us endless material for hating on you. Also, just brush your dogs. Insurance agent here. When giving someone a quote, there are some questions for which I deliberately make assumptions and let them correct me rather than asking. Because if I phrase it like a question, people will tell me what they think I want to hear. It's the difference between, and you don't do X, right? I totally do X. I do X all the time. I'm gonna tell you all about X because you're wrong about my not doing it. Oh, okay. Well, here are the options you have and how that'll impact your rate. And do you do X? No, you're sure? The quote won't be accurate if you are. I'm sure. And now I'm gonna get defensive with you and accuse you of accusing me of lying. I know everyone wants cheaper rates, but please don't lie to me. This actually counts as insurance fraud, and if we find out you did this after you've tried to file a claim for something, not only are we not gonna pay that claim, but some states will actually fine you money and charge you with a felony. I know you're getting fricked, but please, at least let us use lube. CAT scan technologist here. We know you actually did eat a huge meal prior to your scan when you weren't supposed to because we can literally see inside of you. Mechanic here. We know all about the customer who is in shock that warranty won't cover your need for a motor because you've gone 50,000 miles without ever changing your oil. Sure, you regularly maintain your vehicle. How does your car have a factory oil filter on it when you've got 50k on the car? There is no way your engine would have that kind of sludge buildup, even if you changed your oil a couple of times. Just changed your air filter 5k ago? Why is there grass literally growing in it? That horrible noise you want warranty to pay for? Sure, you didn't hit something. Why does your tie rod look like a pretzel? We know, I promise. But please keep telling us your stories. We enjoy them. We brush her hair all the time. Mom says this as I'm looking at a 7-year-old with hair halfway down her back, damaged from pool and sun, full of mats and tangles. As a former 7-year-old who refused to brush her hair for so long her mom threatened to shave it off, I don't blame anyone in this situation. Considering there's quite a number of people who seem to be too bored and stick stuff up their ass, but fail to get it out and have to seek professional help at a hospital, I always think to myself, no, I won't believe your story that you cleaned your window naked, fell down your step stool and landed on a potato that was somehow left on the floor, drilling itself into your butthole. I have yet to meet a patient with something in his rear end who would just admit that he was bored. Veterinary. My dog is really well trained. He's just excited. No, he's not well trained. He's kind of an butthole, and your behavior is telling him it's okay. Sigh. Your dog is the most walk dog on the block. I walk her twice a day, morning and night. I wish my dog was as calm and cool as yours. Yeah, cause she gets exercised and I stimulate her life with toys and playtime at home, instead of just leaving her locked up all day with a ton of energy and no way to get rid of it short of barking her head off all freaking day. Hotel clerk here. We know when a reservation has been paid for online. It flags a specific code on our computers so we know, at the desk, to not worry about securing a form of payment from the guest. If that code doesn't come up, guess what? We need a credit card to continue the check-in process. We know when you've been smoking in our non-smoking hotel. It is one of the most obvious things ever, especially pot. When a section of hallway goes from no smoke odor to strong smoke odor, those of us in the hallways regularly can immediately tell. And yes, you're going to get billed at least $200 for it. Same thing goes for sneaking pets in. Another $200 per animal. Not directly related, but seriously, your ID and named CC need to match or we can't check you in. It is to prevent fraudulent use of the credit account. You have your mom's credit card for the room? Wonderful. Bring your mom in and we'll put the room in her name for you. Once we know she's actually staying in the room for a fact and that you didn't just lift mama's card for a night out. I work for an online exam proctoring company. While it's not terribly common, we do get 1 or 2 instructors calling us every month about a student who is asking for an extension on an exam because they tried to take it with you but there were computer problems and you couldn't get them in. And we look up the student's account with us and they never scheduled that exam with us in the first place. So yeah, don't try to tell your instructor that there were technical problems with our service if you never even scheduled the test with us. And don't try to schedule the test, then not make any effort to connect with us, then claim there were technical issues. We will have proof that you are lying, and we will give it to your instructor. Veterinary technician here. Your dog did not get to be 40 pounds underweight overnight and that basketball-sized mass was most definitely there yesterday. I also know your dog ate some of your weed. We aren't going to call the cops on you. Just tell us the truth. You used Google Translate on this. No, I didn't. If this is your work, you are beyond the reach of education and may God have mercy on your soul. If you came in like 24-48 HS before taking a urine sample, the lab knows. Why? Because there's sperm in your urine. Also, they know if you've had a dong in your mouth because you can also see sperm in a throat swab, and sometimes even in sputum. The amount of things you can tell from someone's life from a body fluid sample goes beyond the usual stuff. Your flight attendant knows your giant butt carry-on bag doesn't fit in the overhead bin on the tiny RJ you're now flying from Chicago to Milwaukee. I know it fits. It fit on my last flight. I'm not gate checking it is balls. Your last flight was a 777 from London. You could fit the RJ you're on right now in the overhead on that sucker. Take your hockey bag full of goalie equipment, put a green tag on it, and leave it on the freaking jet bridge. The toy binky cup food fricking whatever the guest is holding just fell into the animals exhibit. It just fell in 10 feet away from your small child. Frick no people, you threw that crap in there and you know it. I saw a woman in Gibraltar fined for giving a macaque a chocolate bar. She swore the macaque just took it out of her bag and I told the guy the same thing. But he wasn't having any of it. Except I totally saw the macaque steal it. He knew exactly how to peel the wrapper open and everything. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.